rings of power has finally been unleashed. The legions from Mordor have been emptied, and the gaze of Bezos is fixed firmly on clinging to the facade that rings of power is anything but true to the source material. Fellow Tolkienites, to paraphrase Gandalf when addressing Theodan, too long have we sat in the shadows. We have witnessed multiple franchises cynically gobbled up by corporate entities, who are rightly feared for what they do to them. By embarking on a relentless campaign of cultural vandalism, gutting each one of what makes them unique and treasured by us all. And by doing so time and time again, they have proven their stupidity in dividends. He that breaks a thing to find out what it is has left the path of wisdom. Now that the marketing dust has settled, we finally can see for certain what we had long suspected. Rings of Power was limited in its choice of era for various rights and publishing aspects, but it is glaring how the writers condensed material gleaned from the appendices and tried to cover several thousand years of history into, well, that's not quite made clear. Rings of Power takes an incredibly well-written and iconic character, Galadriel, and turns her into a hyper-exaggerated version of the in-vogue strong woman, capable of no wrong, always angry, far more powerful than any of her fellow on-screen male counterparts. She is the apex of this tired phenomenon, an extremely unlikable and impervious brat. But worst of all is what she isn't. She is not Galadriel. Morfydd Clark exemplifies not only what Rings of Power wishes to convey, but the woke corporate industry as a whole. The actress confuses a lecturing, condescending, and entitled attitude for that of subtlety. If ever the viewer is caught in this confusion, consider Tolkien's description of when the Fellowship first meet Galadriel in Lothlorien. They stood up to greet their guests, after the manner of elves, even those who were accounted mighty kings. Very tall they were, and the lady no less tall than the lord, and they were grave and beautiful. They were clad wholly in white, and the hair of the lady was of deep gold, and the hair of the Lord Celeborn was of silver, long and bright, but no sign of age was upon them, unless it were in the depths of their eyes. These were keen as lances in the starlight, and yet profound, the wells of deep memory. Elves are not the only poorly conveyed icons of Tolkien's work, heavens no. Rings of Power plods across with a ham-fisted, regurgitated trend of inserting races of colour, and that is most manifest in this series. Tolkien had stated explicitly how he desired a specific mythology for England. In letter 131 to Milton Waldman, he wrote, "Also, and here I hope I shall not sound absurd, I was, from early days, grieved by the poverty of my own beloved country. It had no stories of its own, bound up with its tongue and soil, not of the quality that I sought and found, as an ingredient, in legends of other lands. There was Greek and Celtic and Romance, Germanic, Scandinavian, and Finnish, which greatly affected me, but nothing English, save impoverished chapbook stuff. Of course there was and is all the Arthurian world, but powerful as it is imperfectly naturalized, associated with the soil of Britain, but not with English, and does not replace what I felt to be missing. The creators of this show have made their contempt of Tolkien and his love of mythology plain, but equally they wish to destroy all that he stood for too, all under the shield of victimhood. Ordinarily, this is the same overused tactic that modern and progressive show after show would use, and it will generally drown out the average viewer. Not so when influential voices such as Elon Musk make their opinions known. It tears down the facade and the hackneyed narrative with a dose of reality. The show is poor, and it is being utterly rejected, especially to the purported target audience, the fans themselves. There are to be 5 seasons of this travesty. $1 billion essentially cast into Mount Doom. It is easy to fall into despair that this onslaught of fandom slaying will never end. With each fallen franchise, I see in your eyes the same fear that will take the heart of me. But not this day. No, we are winning. Fandom as a whole has finally said no, and the collective war machines of talentless hacks are crumbling around them. Take solace that you, fellow Tolkienite, are standing your ground and rejecting this utter codswallop. We will win, for as Sam said, "There's some good in this world, Mr. Frodo, and it's worth fighting for."